If worst comes to worst tonight, I can pull out MS Paint. It'll buy us at least an hour.
I realize it's easier to talk when I have my mic down. Hi, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Star Trek Lexington, last of the line. Glad you could join us for some incredibly nerdy fun, and I honestly don't care because this is having the time of my life. So hey, anywho, thanks for stopping by. So let's do a little recap, especially for Chris's benefit because he was not here last week. So the fight ended with the red, blue, and yellow ships that we were fighting. The blue one got away with our senior staff. So then we got to talking with the CDF Cochrane, the other ship that came to our aid. Found out a number of things. That ship, well, first of all, we're in the Centaurus A galaxy, which is like a very, very, very long ways from Earth. Like 16 million light years or something. If I let me check my notes, that sounds, yeah, 16 million light years away. So yeah, probably not going to get back the conventional way. But this ship, the CDF Cochrane, actually came here about 140 years ago. It got lost escorting a colony fleet. And Chris, I posted, there's a Word document on Discord that gives the data file that we have on this whole colony mission. Like 100,000 colonists and 2 Starfleet ships disappeared. And this is where they wound up. That's about all we know at this point. We are planning on going to visit their colony in the near future. However, first we're doing some stuff here. Tim went down to talk with the Archons on Teyvar to kind of figure out what they want to do. They'll be appointing 5 representatives to us at some point. They're getting that sorted out. Coinless has been fishing bodies out of space and dissecting them, having a whole bunch of fun with that.
Oh
Um,
boy.
I got
and
one alien brain that like I have it all transplanted onto the brain wrencher, but I don't know what it says.
yes, basically it's in a codec that we can't read. So our system is not designed for this format.
If
But
only
we'll
had
figure it out.
someone skilled in languages to help me.
I know, right? That might help. Um, so that's happening, and you are going to be working with the crew of the Cochrane, actually, to Chris, to rescue or retrieve a computer core from one of the destroyed enemy ships. So that's where we left off last time. You were just about to do that. So,
All
okay.
right.
All right, so let's pull up your sheet. Here is the good news, is that you have a 10 in 0G operations, meaning that assuming nothing goes wrong, you're able to just like drift out there no problem. Now, if issues happen, you may be in a little bit of trouble, but hopefully nothing happens.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers very crossed.
And antennas.
Yes, fingers and antennas crossed. Okay.
One small step for Andorians, one
Mm-hmm.
giant leap for Andorian
Cross
kind.
some fingers on those bodies you were just dissecting. Maybe some toes.
What if they
Cross
have fingers? Never really
cross the
looked.
toes or the finger. Oh,
The
cross the
yellow
toes with your
ones, the
fingers.
yellow ones have fingers. They're very humanoid. The red ones definitely do not.
Giant, massive tendrils.
That's basically what the reds are. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
I got one sitting in a vat.
Yes.
I really did miss a lot.
Did. Yeah. The yellow ones look pretty humanoid, but the red ones kind of are like floating creatures. It looks like.
Think like Cthulhu mythos. It's my best interpretation. But they have like
Actually,
a big golf ball attached to the front of them.
actually, Chris, let me go. I can actually show you. If you look
Oh.
at the map real quick, let me throw it up. Let's see.
Yeah, see what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, the other ones are
Or what
pretty
we were.
unremarkable. Just think like yellow humanoids.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that's the reds.
Oh, they kind of have fingers.
Yeah, I guess, but not like
More stabby, less
yeah, more like claws.
dexterity.
Yes. Yes. All right, so that's the reds. Actually, let me show you the yellows too. There, Chris, while we're looking at this. I think I'll show the folks at home too. You know what? I'm feeling generous today.
Big ol' scary aliens.
Yeah, scary.
Let's see what these
aliens.
folks look like.
Yeah. Let me zoom out so they can see this. Okay. And the other ones
I wonder if they're vegetarians.
look like not that tiny.
Yeah, so you got that, which is about the size of like a space freighter, and then you got the alien.
So they're the size of minions.
Yeah, very different size ships.
I must note, not to scale. That's a yellow.
Ah, okay.
And that's actually the names that the Cochranes call them by. They don't know the names of any of the three species that we've gone up against. They have so far
Not gonna lie,
been unable to communicate whatsoever.
the yellows are actually a lot more creepy to me than the reds right now.
Because of
Just
those
the way
very
it's-
human eyes.
It's so uncanny. It's like it looks like it's staring into my soul. It's disappointed with me. How to do that much biotechnology? It's like,
it knows
yes,
what you
okay.
did. It knows what you did. So okay. So you are going to be coordinating there, Chris, with the engineering crew from the Cochrane to go and figure out how to excise this computer core.
All right.
All right. Actually, I am going to be completely making up this crew as I go because I have given it no thought until right now. I love running it like this. Okay. All right. So you are going to actually be working with their chief engineer. Let's see. And another thing that we learned is that this colony crew was entirely human. So every single person on the Cochrane is human. Every single person in the colony is human, pretty much. And that came up when they were talking with Tim, with Sorab, because after all the interactions with aliens they've had, they've actually been fighting a war with these aliens for 50 years. The average person is very leery of anyone that is not human, so we're gonna have to keep, and you're gonna have to keep that in mind. Although they would be familiar with Andorians from the past, because 140 years ago the Federation just started and there were Andorians. But still, it's gonna be interesting.
Got
All
it.
right. So here you're going to have. All right. So you are going to be working with Lieutenant Commander Rhonda Farkas.
All right, help me around.
Yes, human. Female. She is all of 33 years old. Let's see. All right, so Chief Engineer and CDF Cochran. So you are going to be ordered to head down towards the airlock. When you get there, you're going to receive a communication from Lieutenant Commander Farks.
All right. State that I am in the airlock, awaiting permission to start the process. Head out there.
That's fine. That's fine. My team will meet you there. Not sure exactly what you'll be doing on this one because we're the ones that have been taking these cores out for a while. I guess to observe, supervise, something like that. I don't know. Captain just told me to have you come out here and help us. So let's
That'd be
make it
good to
happen.
know. That'll help us figure out what's going on around here. Good knowledge transfer, collaboration.
Something like that. All right, head on out here when you're ready. My team is already on its way.
All right, I will exit the airlock and start making my way over to this ship, over
Okay.
to the power core.
All right,
Or
so
to the
you're
core.
about a half a mile away. That's how close the Lexington and the Cochrane have got to this giant hunk of sparking debris.
Now, do I have any kind of like? Is it just like magnetic boots, or am I like
Well, right
zero
now
G? Like,
you've got like a jetpack sort of thing. You're floating over
okay.
there. Yeah, you will have magnetic boots once you arrive. But you have your tricorder, and it's giving you exact coordinates of where you need to go on the ship in order to get to the access to the computer core area thing, whatever.
Do I see any like potential debris or anything like
Oh,
that
there's
coming
plenty of
at me?
debris. Luckily, it's pretty spaced out, but you're seeing just components that you don't even begin to recognize what the hell these things do.
Wow.
Bodies of varying states of intactness. The ship held about 30 something people, so or 30 something whatever these things are. So not that many bodies. I mean, you saw during the fight how big it is compared to the Lexington. It's not a large ship, more of a scout type, but still, that's 30 something people that are now no longer with us. So yeah.
I'll keep that in mind to tell the doctor there's plenty of material for him to
Oh,
study.
he's already as you're coming out here, he's already tractor beaming corpses into the shuttle bay.
He's like,
I don't know
push
if he's
that one
got.
closer.
I
Push
got
that
like an
one.
actual like a gurney covered in corpses that I've been hauling to and from the med bay.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's a smorgasbord of
Good old cadavers, you
stuff.
know.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So where you're going to meet the other crew is basically the end of a hallway that only half of it still exists. Uh, and that's where you're going to meet the chief engineer and two others. And you'll notice they are in EV suits that don't look that similar to yours. They look very retro,
Mm.
but with some upgrades. But they look old. I mean, they look like they have been refurbished and reconfigured for a very long time. Someone just joined.
It's a
Yeah.
captain.
Oh, is that Skippy?
It is.
Hey, Skips. God, you can join us. Okay, so what's happening right now is Eric is going over, or Chris is going over to the half-destroyed red enemy ship, trying to get into it and get at their computer core, along with 3 crew members from the Cochrane.
Okay.
All right, so this is going to play out. Once that's done, we'll return to you coming back from the bridge after your hairball episode.
I wish I
Okay.
was there for that.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really an episode. He wasn't here last session, so just he kind of had a hairball and had to leave the bridge.
Ah,
That's what you get for not being here. You get a hairball.
Between the death metal guitar that kills people and
That's-
like all the alien shenanigans, yeah.
I don't even want to explain that story. But all right, so you're gonna meet the crew of the Cochrane at the end of that hallway, and again, they're in the older looking suits. You're gonna get up close to. You can tell the insignia on the side. It looks very similar to what you're used to with Starfleet, but again, kind of older inspired. But you can tell immediately which one's the lieutenant commander. And so she comes up to you. She looks at you and goes, "Oh, I was told that not everyone on your ship was human, right?"
yeah,
And
we have a cross section of aliens. I myself, Mandorian.
I've heard of Andorians. They're one of the founding members of the Federation, weren't they?
Yep. I hail from the planet Andoria, cold planet. But yeah, we've been members of the Federation, working with humans hand in hand for quite a while. So it's an honor to meet somebody from way back in the founding times.
Well, I mean, I'm not way back the founding times. I was born 33 years ago, but my like great grandparents, yeah, they came over on the colony ship, unwillingly, one of the colony ships. But yeah, so kind of a branch in our histories there. But okay, so out of character, you'll notice, Chris, that the other two, with the lieutenant commander, are kind of looking at you real funny. Like, they don't know what to make of you. Especially one of them, who looks to be a young man, can't be older than his 20s. He's got ensign insignia on his shoulder. He's just, like, bewildered, like you got 3 heads or something.
I just sort of wave and say, "Nice to meet you," and just sort of like say, "Shall we commence?"
He blink a few times, like, Lieutenant Commander goes, "Yeah, let's get this over with. We only got so much air." All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go salvage a computer core. I know I want to say something witty, but I don't have anything. Let's just get this over with. That was saying something witty. That was both in and out of character.
Let's see if we can salvage this situation.
Yeah.
Zach Thunder's
feel
not
it-
out here. Shut up.
Yeah, we're gonna be in. I feel it in my core. We're gonna get this right.
Nice. Okay. All right, so you're gonna make your way down the hallway. There are lights. Some of them are kind of flickering, just like power is trying to reach them. There's also what looks to be emergency lights as well that are flickering. Going through, you're gonna notice that the way things are configured, there is the floor and the walls and the ceiling all are identical, because it looks like the floor is actually not really intended to be walked on, because it doesn't have to be. The doors, you don't see any perceivable mechanism to open them. It's just you can see the outline of an opening, like a big circular thing, but no idea what
Can I?
goes there.
It might. At the same time, can I take my tricorder just to take readings and
Yeah.
be able to
Yeah.
take it back to the ship and
Of course,
have it for historical purposes,
of course.
analysis.
Well, the good news is also the Cochrane has supplied us with a lot of data on everything too, so we don't have to rely just on this.
Oh, good.
Yes, take as much as you like. That would be helpful. So they're gonna make. You're following Lieutenant Commander. She's got her, again, a tricorder. You recognize it's a tricorder, but it definitely looks more antiquated than yours.
Can I ask the lieutenant commander if they've been able to like retrofit any of this alien technology into the Cochrane or for their own use?
No, actually, especially well, some stuff from the blues and yellows we've taken inspiration from, but God, the reds, their technology. You notice the doors don't have handles or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Psychically operated.
Wow.
Everything on this ship is psychically operated. You're not going to see any control panels, barely on anything. The only exceptions are things that just physically have to be done by hand or with these things, by claw, I guess. So yeah, I'm not even sure we're going to get out of this computer core. I'll tell you, we've done this before, but we've never successfully gotten into one of these, at least in a way that makes sense. Then again, maybe your tech can handle it. I don't know. It's worth a shot. But, all right. Okay, where we want to go is just right here. All right, I guess we're going to have to cut this bitch open. All right, grab your phase pistols, everyone. So the three of them are going to pull back, and they're going to pull out phase pistols that, if you've ever seen Star Trek Enterprise, it's basically those, but like a little bit refined. So they're not your phasers like you've got there. It's definitely an older type design.
And you're
So they
saying they've
definitely-
failed every time they've done this.
What?
You said like they've never been able to get one of these before because they
They've-
keep failing, or
They've never been able to successfully like access the information. They've gotten the cores. They've just never been able to like get at the data or make any sense of it.
good thing I have a red.
What'd you say there, Matt?
And these guys are just from like just after Enterprise would have been.
Yes. Like about 10 years later, right after the founding of the Federation, is when this ship would have disappeared.
Interesting.
Yes. All right, so they are going to start cutting at the door, but this is going to take a while because the energy that's put out by their phase pistols is significantly less than what your phaser would be able to put out on cutting setting.
Do I have enough air to last me till they're able to get this thing open?
Oh yeah, you've got a solid hour of air. By now
okay.
you got about 50 minutes left. It's gonna, at the current rate, it's probably gonna take about 20 to get it open.
Can I help with mine and see if I can speed up the process?
You absolutely can. And considering that this is, you're not being shot at or anything, this is just, what's your skill in
Personal
armed-
weapons?
in armed
or
combat?
10.
Personal combat, armed. No, sorry, energy. It's marksmanship modern is what you need. 20. Yeah, so you're able to. It's not the cleanest, but you're able to contribute, and the phaser works about twice the rate of all three of those phase pistols combined.
Wow. Well, 140-year difference probably would do that.
Yeah, more or less. So you're able to get the thing open about 5 minutes after that. So you got about 40 minutes of air left.
All right. So now we see the power core.
Well, it's not the computer
Or-
core. So now you're in what appears to be main engineering, and like she said, there's no consoles for like controlling things. There's mechanical stuff, sure, plenty of it. Stuff you'd have to physically work on. You see what appears to be the warp core, but it does not look like any warp core you've ever seen. It's just a vague guess. But your sensor is going to take you off to the side to, basically, it's a giant cylinder sitting in the middle of the room with access panels all around it. And some of the panels are hanging off, and you see circuitry that appears to be partially biological.
Mm.
Biology in technology.
Oh, now the doctor's all of a sudden,
Spoons.
doctor's in the airlock. I'm coming. I'm coming.
It's like screw the airlock. Auto ejects, flies out. I need my hands on that now.
Somebody screaming at the dock, put the helmet on.
I can
don't
hold
need
my
it.
breath.
I got 99 luck, and oxygen ain't one of my problems right now.
So yes, that's what you see. The computer core. The whole thing is probably about 2 meters across in diameter, so it's not small.
Yeah, fairly good size.
It's
fairly good
about
size.
8 feet, or I just use meters than feet. About 2.5 meters high.
Mm.
Okay.
So how does it look like this? Is this thing just sort of like biologically like wired in, or is it sitting in like a I don't know, like a docking thing?
It basically looks like instead of circuitry, it uses what's almost synapses.
Bioluminescent brain cells or fungus?
No, they look very much like synapses. So the circuitry is organic. It's not sitting in any kind of fluid. It's just like organic circuit boards, more or less.
I guess should probably try to get this computer core out. Then maybe I can take one of these circuit boards with me too for the doctor.
She's gonna say, "Well, let's just take the whole thing. I mean, no need to part it up."
Yeah, no, I think that's a good plan if we can do it.
All right. Take the panels. Gonna talk to everyone. Take the panels off the top and bottom. Let's see if we can slice this bitch out. So you're gonna get the panels bottom and top, and what you're gonna see is there is circuitry integrated into the floor and the ceiling. Now, there's a fairly fine line between the circuitry of the thing itself, the connectors, and then the floor itself. So she's going to say, we're going to need to cut this thing out, but oh god, that's going to be kind of dicey. One, we pull the phase pistol or phaser a little bit. We're gonna burn some circuitry out. Damn. She's gonna look at you and say, "How good are you with a weapon?"
I probably would say, maybe slightly above average, if that's what the 20 correlates to, or
No, 20
average.
correlates to below average.
I'm below. Okay, then I'm below average at this.
She said,
I could cut it out quick, but not pretty.
All right, damn. I guess I'll do it. Okay, fingers crossed, boys and girls, that I don't screw this up. All right. So she is going to need to roll. She's got to beat a 45 in order to do this cleanly. And ooh.
Oh, what? I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Oh
Ooh.
man, she
How to beat a 45?
just
How
got
to beat a
just got
45.
the top. Oh man, she got a little shaky there for a minute. It's like, okay, let's go again. All right,
I got this.
everyone, hold your breath. Yep. And she wound up nicking at least a few of the circuits, just swearing under her breath as she did so. So hopefully those weren't important. All right.
Well, we'll find out if they were, but hey, we got it out.
Yeah. Well, great news about 0G is that we don't have to worry about carrying this thing out the hard way. We just gotta slide it through the doorway. Like, yeah, that'll fit. That'll fit. Let's put the panels back on just in case we try to bump it on something. I don't want to scrape these across the wall. So y'all put the panels
back on.
All right. So now, Chris, you're doing something that's a little bit tricky. So there's going to be some rolls involved to see how smoothly you can do this.
All right.
All right. So this is going to be your dexterity and 0G operations. So the average of 10 and 6. So that's you. A 35 is your base number. However, you have 3 people helping you, so you get a bonus of 45. So basically, you've got to beat an 80 to get this to not like screw the pooch.
All right, here we go.
Okay. You nudge some of the walls on the way through, but didn't damage anything except scratching the paint. You can't tell if that's paint or what the hell this is made of.
Paint or goo.
It's some kind of finish that's on the thing. But you are able to successfully float that thing out of there.
Good.
She's
I
going to
let them
say,
know. Great job.
all right, where are we taking this thing? Shuttle bay, airlock, what?
If I was
Uh,
aware, there'd be a big sign, just a big glowing sign that said Soong's Med Bay right now.
I just picture Brent Spinner from
Brent Spiner, yes.
Independence Day running out to the alien.
Peace.
I
peace.
need it.
Yes.
SpongeBob, I don't need
I would
it.
say whatever's closer. If the airlock or the shuttle bay.
Well, the shuttle bay might be easier because of size, so you're not having to try to get it through yet another corridor.
Yeah, let's go shuttle bay. I'll communicate that to the ship. Or is it their shuttle bay or ours?
Ours.
Ours. Okay.
Ours.
So I'll let the ship know we're coming into shuttle bay. Bip bop boop. The closest one.
All right. So you'll amble your way on over there. No problems. All is well. You'll make it back with good 20 minutes of air left. So you're it's not even in the yellow. You're good.
I feel more comfortable now.
All right. So you'll ease it on in there. The other 3 will step on in. Once you pass the force field, they'll look around, take their helmets off, and go, "Holy shit! This is fancy."
It- I like how the old retro ship is fancy to them.
Like, so much space in here.
Yeah, I told them this is one of the, Constitution class ships. Good
It's an
amount of
old
space.
model.
It's old by our standards. That's the scary part.
Oh,
But
okay.
he still has it where it counts.
I'd say so if you made it through that wormhole in those multicolored assholes. Okay. Well, I guess hey, we're the first one of our crew to make it over here. Nice. I'll have to hold that over the captain's head. Okay. Well, I guess I'm sure we'll get plenty more chance to take a look at this baby. I guess we'll float our way on back home. Hold our hand out. Good work with you, Lieutenant Commander. Hopefully this is the beginning of a long and fruitful friendship.
Yep, I take her hand, shake it, and say thank you very much, and we really, really look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you so
Quick
much.
question.
Not gonna offer the teleporter?
Was I like doing my stuff in the that bay, or was it a different area? As I was going back and forth.
You could be in the shuttle bay when they show up.
Okay, it's like turn. It's like, what is that? And I immediately point my finger at the big box.
Okay. For right now, you can't tell there's any biological components because all the panels are on it. All you do is you
But I
just
can
see this
smell it now.
this big reddish-looking cylinder.
So, ooh, what's that? Still
Yeah.
question.
Oh, I just say it's the computer core to the ship that we just
Interesting. So
retrieved.
that's what I was picking up. Anything I should know about it?
Don't know what you need to know about it. You're free to take a
So
look.
help me. Don't play these games.
I'm trying to make it be a surprise,
Of course.
like a kid opening a gift on Christmas.
Well, were you able to find any information off of it?
We know that the doors and everything seems to be controlled, obviously telepathically, through the mind. The circuit boards are of an odd physiology type matrixy concoction. We're not quite sure.
Odd physiology, you see.
Yeah.
An eyebrow goes up.
And
Do you
he
mind
says,
opening this up so I can take a look at it?
is it just simple as opening up a panel? Yeah, I'll pop off a panel.
It's not even it's like just removing a panel.
Oh, it's that easy. Okay.
Yeah.
But I say, take a look, but we can't do anything until we talk to our captain in command, control, current boss.
Out
So
of character. Yes! Yes! In character, very calm.
yes, he
I'll
pops
put
the
panel
panel.
back on.
He pops the panel, and you see it. You can tell it basically looks like synapses, like what a biological computer would look like, more or less.
I just kind of like go up to it slowly, like run my hand along the metal parts of it so I don't touch anything. It's like, finally, a biotechnology role out of cadence. This is like the first legitimate one. It's like, I see. So this must be why you've struggled so hard to understand these guys. And then I kind of like smile, like kind of like, this seems. Wait, and I just kind of start frowning. Wait a minute. I kind of point to the corner that got botched. Who is responsible for this hack job?
I tell the doctor, we'll pick up this conversation after we talk to the acting captain. I'll
Well, I
put
don't
the
know
panel
about you,
back on.
but this is a complex series of. I feel like just as a base 10, I can tell that's complex series of synapses, like you said. It's like one wrong move with anything, and it's like lobotomizing something. If this is the computer core, that could completely jeopardize the entire thing.
I just turned to the other people and said, "Do you want a drink before you go back?" Get him away from the doctor. I don't want him to ruin a good thing we had going. So, especially talking about the hack job.
I wonder how many hundreds of years they've been screwing up like this. I mean, this one looks half decent, but I can't imagine what they've been doing to just fail again and again and again.
Well, the lieutenant commander's gonna go.
And I'm just looking at it. I'm not like making any like points out to them. I'm just saying it out loud as I'm analyzing it.
She's gonna flip out a communicator and go. This is Lieutenant Commander Farks. Come in, Captain. Like, this is the captain. We've been invited to have a drink with our new friends over here on the Lexington. We got done ahead of schedule, so you think I might be able to squeeze that in? Captain goes, you know what? Why not? Just don't do anything stupid. Lieutenant Commander goes, you got it, sir. Lieutenant Commander out. Like,
Cool.
we will take you up on that offer, my Andorian friend.
All right. Let's get D space suited and we'll go find the bar. And I'll tell the doctor, don't touch anything until you talk to the acting captain.
Understood. And I wait for them to leave while standing there.
Oh, I think. Yep, it's Tim.
And at that moment, Sober walks in to keep an eye on the doctor to make sure he doesn't mess with anything.
Scully, you're no fun.
I just walk by Sorab and say, "Doctor's all yours, and we're going to the bar."
I was in fact going to the bridge because I had a plan to initiate.
Okay, well, let's switch over. About that time, Crystal will actually have made it back from sickbay after passing a hairball. So our acting captain's back on the bridge. Sorab's coming up to the bridge. Eric has stepped away. He's, I don't know, to use the restroom, something. Who cares? So yes, Hiro is gone. So it's the two of you and Jacob, who's just still kind of sitting there at the sensor console. All right. So what's happening on the bridge, fellas?
Well, I need to talk to whoever is acting captain.
That would be the cat on the bridge.
Yeah.
Good old Vice Junior Captain Crystal.
You know, sometimes I leave and I come back and it's somebody different. I don't know.
It is true. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
Eric,
that one.
Hiro Nakamura and Crystal just like did like good old like hand tag out.
Apparently.
Okay. All right. So yes, it is Crystal who is currently acting captain. So what's happening?
All right. So I'm gonna go up to Crystal and be like, "So are you back to captaining now?"
It seems that way.
Okay. How up to speed are you with what's been going on since you stepped off the bridge?
Um, very lacking because last thing that because I stepped away just after we finished fighting a bunch of different colored ships. Apparently,
Okay.
very many colored ships. Very strange to me.
There were
Three colors. A whole three colors.
I mean,
But okay.
The three colors are the basis of all the other colors. So
Okay, anyway, all right. Well, um, that other ship that showed up is the Cochrane. They were, oh goodness. All right. So they were a Federation colony vessel that fell through a wormhole, ended up here. We are in a different galaxy, significantly far, very far
oh,
from home.
holy cow. So not just a different quadrant, but a different galaxy altogether.
Oh, I'm just getting started. Yeah, hold on.
Oh,
So-
I need to hold my awe. Okay. Oh boy.
We will take questions at the end. All right, so
There will be a quiz.
At this point, I'm sitting down.
So, they did establish a colony. It's nearby. They've had a lot of strife with some aliens that already live here, presumably are native to the area. They have not established communications with them, but they have had kind of a lot of fighting with them over the past 140 years. Those are the people that attacked us just a little bit ago. They've been doing they've been establishing their colony. They've been doing some research. They were trying to open up the wormhole as a two-way portal so that they could go home, but instead it was just a one-way portal again and pulled us and the planet Teyvar through. So now we're all here. You of course know about the damage to the ship. There was similar damage to the planet. We've been in contact with the Cochrane. They are willing to help us out and have us come to the colony, and so we can work on a plan for how to get everybody home safely. But in the meantime, we've been checking in with the planet to see how they're holding up and if there's anything we can do to help them. And we have Lieutenant Commander Calvo and Dr. Sung out collecting whatever they can salvage from the ships that we destroyed, including biological samples that we can study and understand the life forms that live here. As for the people on the planet, I just got back with some diplomats that are going to be some representatives that are going to come with us to the planet and, help us figure out how we're going to address all this. The Cochrane told us to contact them about an hour after our last conversation to let them know how long we would need because they don't really want to hang out here too long. And I think it's been about 30 minutes since then, something like that.
It's been about 40.
It's been about 40 minutes since then. So you're going to want to be ready to talk to them in 20 minutes, and they're going to be confused that it's you and not the guy who they were just talking to 40 minutes ago.
Wonderful.
Now, I was up here to discuss an idea that I kind of already started putting into practice, but I wanted to run it by you before we actually carry it out.
What's the idea?
Okay, so we don't know exactly how advanced these species are that attacked us. Do we have any records? Because I know we were getting records. Do we have any records on their ability to track teleporting or what their sensors are capable of?
No.
Can I like make a call to the bridge or to Crystal Ray at this moment?
Sure.
This is the captain or acting captain.
Hello, Vice Junior Captain Crystal. I have 2 questions for you.
Oh boy, are these Dr. Fish level questions?
I guess. I mean, everything's a question if you really think about it. But to the point, I have what appears to be a biomechanical computer core with potentially lots of information that I guess I have to request because somebody won't let me hack into it unless I ask for it otherwise. As I kind of look towards Calvo standing in the corner, not letting me touch it until I get permission. So could I have that permission?
Before I answer that, what's the other question?
Oh, the other one is how much do you want to decipher an alien language? Because I currently have a database filled to the brim with the yellow alien's entire memories and language. It's currently encrypted. I thought maybe you'd want to take a crack at it while I'm doing this. You're good with language, right?
Okay.
I'm sitting on like 2 giant treasure troves of information and data right now. We just gotta
Okay.
crack them open.
First of all, apparently you have about 15 minutes to get me something useful from from the computer that they just brought back.
Well,
15 minutes?
no, we have 20 minutes to call the Cochrane back. Once we have
Okay.
the computer cores, we can take our time with them if we want.
Well, he
We
said
just
that
bring them with
the
us.
computer core is sitting in our shuttle bay.
Yeah, our shuttle blade's gonna come with us.
Okay, hold on. I thought you said we are meeting them in 20 minutes.
We're gonna, yeah, like
We're gonna like
on the
phone call them.
screen.
Yeah. Good old phone calls.
We're going to
Literally,
talk to
the
them in
Cochrane
20
is like
minutes.
3 miles outside the window right now. It's
Yeah,
just sitting
right
there.
We're just gonna call
Okay.
them.
Okay.
We're not sending an
He's been in
envoy.
the med bay with hairballs.
Okay, just give me a second, because
There.
keep in mind, I'm usually the one connecting two people and not the one doing the conversation. Okay, so in about 20 minutes we're going to be calling the Cochrane and potentially going back to their colony to, I'm guessing,
Science the hell out of the situation.
do we know about how far that colony is from here?
Did they tell us that?
No, no one asked.
Okay.
Apparently in patrol range.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they
And-
wandered out. They were just kind of patrolling when they found us.
Okay.
Right?
And
You
when-
actually don't know what
is-
they were doing. You also never asked.
And then you said that they've been out here for how long?
140 years.
Wait, 140 years.
140. Well, I think it's 138 to be exact, but 140 is a nice round number.
That would...
Okay, so when I say they're Federation, I might.
No, they are
technically be
Federation. Like
Alright, yeah.
like 2
So
years
they're
after
one
the
of
Federation.
first Federation ships to be technically decommissioned.
I'm sorry.
Like I was on that
Sure.
ship.
Okay, when I say technically decommissioned, I mean according to the Federation database, that ship is no longer active.
Well, if you look at the data file, that ship disappeared along with
That's what I meant.
100,000 colonists.
It was
so, yeah.
one of the first ships to disappear or have something happen to it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's one of the first that no one figured out what happened, like for 100 something years. But no,
It's the
so
first
Earth ships have been
Federation Amelia Earhart.
no, Earth ships have been the NX-02 Columbia disappeared before that during the Romulan War, if I know my lore right.
Really?
So at least according, that's beta canon, but some say
Okay.
it
I
disappeared.
need to go back and watch Enterprise.
That wasn't
That's
in
what I'm hearing.
Enterprise. That wasn't in Enterprise.
I
That was
still.
yeah.
From what I've read, like Archer may have been one of the better captains.
Yes. So what this ship
So,
is,
Anyway.
what this ship is it's an NX class like the Enterprise, but it's the refit version. So it's got the
Oh,
it's got a
so
hull.
it's the NX version of the Lexington.
I can actually put a photo of it if you look at the map. Hang on a second.
No, I should probably join the game, shouldn't I? Unreal 20.
Probably.
It looks something like. Expand the freaking photo. I hate when it does this to
Man,
me.
that alien's really. Turns out there's like, you go to their homeworld, there's just like one giant alien. Just sitting. It's like, this is why we haven't been able to attack their homeworld. Just got a giant guardian.
So that's what the ship looks like. So it's an NX class with an underslung hull, with a new secondary hull.
Huh.
Okay.
It was newly built when it disappeared. Like, it was fresh from the yards. But that is, like, there's the data file I put in Discord if you want to look that for a little back history. So,
Can you imagine? We just built that shit!
yep.
Should have named it the Titanic.
Something like that. Well, they didn't want to struck an asteroid, but anywho, back on topic.
Technically, it would have been a comment.
No,
True,
no, listen.
fair.
You need to answer him, and then I need to get back to my plan here. Because if it's happening, I need to make some phone calls like real soon.
I just like to
Okay,
imagine
so
them
what's this
waiting
plan of yours?
a minute.
Oh, we're just ignoring Doctor. Okay, so
You've
I
been
already
quiet
told
for like
him
2
that-
minutes.
I already said that I already gave him permission to get what he can from that computer.
Oh, okay. In the other one that I said if you want to take a crack at.
Send me the files. Or
Okay.
send in someone with the data pad with the.
That's not
If-
fitting on a data pad. This is an entire brain and like life's worth
Oh.
of stuff. That's not fitting.
Yeah, this is like everything.
Okay.
It's the brain
Yeah.
wrencher, you know.
So, Syrup,
Next turn on
Can
hard
we-
drive, at least.
can we walk and talk?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
in the med bay.
We're
just
gonna
in
walk
various
and talk on our way
directions.
down to the shuttle bay because I do like me some
The
new
brain
languages.
wrencher's in the med bay.
Yeah, med bay for the brain wrencher.
Okay.
I'll
Okay,
don't worry.
med
I'll
bay.
get some unpaid interns to bring this thing to the med bay as well.
Okay, so listen. So as we're walking, all right. So here's the thing. We know that they targeted. We know that the aliens that took our captain and senior staff and some of the diplomats from Teyvar targeted the shuttlecraft. Now, what I've done is I took a shuttlecraft down to the planet to check in on things, but I left it there with security personnel. My idea is, and then we teleported back. So the hope is that if they are anywhere around nearby, if any of their scouts are nearby, they may have seen the shuttlecraft go down and will see it come back up. And I would like to get some military from the planet on the shuttlecraft. And the idea is that if they do get spotted by the aliens, they get captured. They utilize that opportunity to get the information on where our captain and senior staff are by way of weapons. And then we have the information we need to find our captain and senior staff and the diplomats, which would be a great boost to us. And if they don't get spotted, then the representatives that we brought from the planet have some extra security.
Side note: the only people on that shuttle were our people. There were no diplomats.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
okay. Yeah.
Your plan is that shuttlecraft gets captured with a bunch of military personnel to find out where they took our captain and senior staff, correct?
Yep.
If my knowledge doesn't betray me, doesn't if you were to take a small ship captive, wouldn't you I don't know, put it in a highly secured area and use highly weaponized and secured personnel to then secure the personnel aboard that ship?
I mean, I have no idea what these people's protocol is. They literally come from a different galaxy. We have no idea what we're dealing with. We have no linguistic compatibility with them.
Okay.
I mean, I
I'm
I
okay
might be
with
able
it,
to ask somebody
but-
what the Federation's practices
but-
are, but that might not be any relevant information.
Is there a way to track it? The shuttlecraft.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Some
if we
sort
know
of
that
beacon?
if we know this is happening, we can tell them to rig something up for that.
Because chances are that if the shuttlecraft were to get captured, the opposing force could overpower the military personnel within the shuttlecraft.
So
There is a likelihood of that. So, if we're to do this, we need some way to track it.
well, my primary contact is literally a culture of spies. I feel like they're best prepared to set
Yes.
up something that would enable covert communications with us.
Yeah, honestly, if it's a whole culture of spies, you might as well just give them creative freedom.
All right, I'll go make the call. Have fun. I'm gonna.
Oh boy.
Just keep me in the loop. That's all I'm saying. Just keep me in the loop.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let's make this
I'm wondering
call.
why they left that shuttlecraft on the planet.
All right. Let's make this call because I am very intrigued. What the hell's about to happen?
Oh, this is getting,
So
this is
am
getting
I.
good.
So am I.
Damn it! I made a Tim turned into a James Bond movie. I was not prepared for this mentally.
I've told you. The trick is always be playing a different game than your enemy is playing.
Yes. Yes. Tim out
We're
here playing
Star
6D
Trek,
chess.
He's playing James Bond.
Yes. All right, let's start this chess
Did you
match.
really just say too many chefs?
What?
Ugh.
I said
Did
let's
you
start
really
this
say
chess.
too many chefs?
No, I said start this chess match.
All right. So I am going to. So I'm going to call. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call the guy that I was talking to from. Where's my notes? What's the culture that I was talking to? The guy. You know who I'm talking about.
The angry guy.
Yeah.
Okay, Scraish, one of
Yes.
the sixth of the heralds.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorab remembers his name.
Of course, Sorab remembers his name.
Doesn't
I'm
mean
throwing
I
so many
remember his name.
people and names at you. I understand. It's
All right.
not it's not like you have anything else in your life more important to this to dedicate brain power to. Right. Okay. So how are you contacting him? Like,
Yeah, I don't have a direct line to him, but I do have. I do. The stated reason for the shuttlecraft and the security personnel to be there was direct line of communication.
right. So you left a communicator with the crew of the shuttle, basically, in
Mhm.
case they need to contact us. That
Well, yeah, and so that for the people of the planet to be able to contact us.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask them to put me in touch with Grace.
all right. So you're going to be calling down, and you're going to reach ensign Tavol, and she will go. I will see if I can contact them. Please hold, Lieutenant Commander. So she's going to be gone for a few minutes,
Is there hold music?
a few more minutes. Finally comes back. Yes, this is Scraish.
I have an idea, and I could use your help with it.
Oh joy. Shoot.
So, one of the things that happened when we were attacked was that the shuttlecraft containing our senior staff was abducted.
It's terrible.
I would like to, which is, the people who were leading the communications and negotiations with your planet. So I would like to use the shuttlecraft that we left behind as a lure. If they're still monitoring this area and they see the shuttlecraft, I'm hoping that they will go and take an interest in capturing it and take it to the same place as the captain and the senior staff are at. What I need is I can spare maybe a few security people. But what I need to see is if I can get some security personnel to be on that shuttlecraft. If they get captured, they would be helpful in getting the information that we need about where the captain was taken. And if they don't, then they would be helpful to the representatives that came with us, that are coming with us to the colony as protection. But the other thing that I need, and the reason I asked for you specifically, is that we need a covert way to track where that shuttlecraft is if it gets captured.
So an interplanetary tracking system.
A covert interplanetary tracking system, yes.
Well, I can tell you it's very likely that whatever you have technologically is going to be leaps and bounds beyond what we have.
Right,
However,
but all right, go ahead.
However, knowing the way that the way you're sizing us up, I do believe we may have some people that, if they know what kind of technology you have, may be able to devise a solution.
That would be excellent. Any help that you could offer on that.
Out of here, are we just looking for a tracking device, or
Trying to create a tracking device that's subtle.
because I make those. Like I have them in like all of my prosthetics. I could just like, can I just use one of those?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, you're not part of the conversation, so
Yes.
I just kind of an out of character.
yeah.
And
Like, if we
the
need
acting
to, I
captain
could.
did not know about those.
Yep.
You know.
And neither did the diplomat that the acting captain was talking to, I'm assuming.
I can't remember if that was a private bathroom conversation back when we were on the other planet.
Oh yeah, no, that was never said to me.
Okay, yeah. I just was I couldn't remember or not. I just only the 2 times I brought them up were technically out of character because I was just doing
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
All right, so back to the Scraish conversation. Say, all right, well then, how do you want to run this? All right, well actually, let's step back. I'm trying to understand something. So you want them to capture the shuttle, correct?
Yes.
Under what circumstances? Like, at what point would they capture it?
So if they do something similar to what they did when they took our senior staff, it would be in transit from the planet to our shuttle or to our ship, far enough away that we weren't able to jump in and interfere before they got a hold of it.
Okay, and so you basically just let them do it.
No, I wasn't on the bridge. I don't know what decisions were made regarding that.
But I'm saying,
But
in this situation.
this time, yes, we would.
Just
yes, this time we would we would allow that to happen.
Okay. I mean, I guess it's worth a shot. Doesn't hurt us if nothing comes of it. All right. Probably going to be easiest considering the way things are down here to send some people up to you to work on this. But I don't know how long that's going to take. And it
Okay.
sounds like you're not wanting to be around much longer. You need to go visit their colony, I heard, right?
In about 15 minutes, we have to tell them how much longer we need to be here. They would like that to be as short a time as possible. Yeah.
All right.
Ask for like 3 months. It's like 3 months, please. Just build like everything we need before we ever go on the mission. Prep time.
Well, there's a few people I can think to send up. One for sure. If anyone's gonna have an idea, it's gonna be him.
Okay.
All right. How do you transport? What do you want to do with this? How are we gonna get these people to you? First of all, I gotta find them. Actually, God, where the hell is Detrone? He's the one you want.
Hmm.
'Cause he's our resident mad scientist.
Well, if we have coordinates or a genetic profile to search for, to scan for, we can teleport him up.
Look over his shoulder, like, yeah. Officially, we're not supposed to get any help finding our people because Shinzia handles its own affairs. But screw it. Okay. Yeah, this is important. All right. How do I find a genetic profile? Okay. You may be able to find him this way. So he carries with him. Let me think. Okay. GM pausing a moment because I'm having to plot this nonsense out. Think here a second. How the hell am I going to do this? Okay. He is supposed to have a transponder on him. However, we've not been able to locate it. But we're not sure if that's due to our own, whether it's offline or whether our own scanners are being like the. Let me tell you, the EM fields on the planet are not in good shape after all this, so that's quite possibly it. So, I know that all the actually all of the heralds have one of these for communication and keeping tabs purposes. So. I know his code, and he'll list off like, okay, just frequency, whatever, a way that the sensors would be able to locate him. And it's Eric.
Hey.
Back
Ayo.
for reporting for duty.
Aha! You finally got back to your bridge. Okay, but anyhow, so continuing this, so Scratch is like, all right, if you can find him, just transport him up. I'll see if I can scrape together any other technicians, but the way things are down here, Archon only knows what I'm able to do. So,
All right.
if you find him, great. If not, well, it was worth a shot. So,
Thank you very much.
I've got other nonsense to take care of. So, just good luck
I'm sure.
and all that. Bye. Just line check. So,
All right. So I'm going to call Calvo. I'm going to send the communicator to Calvo, and I'm going to tell him basically, hey, we're looking for a technician to help us to establish a covert beacon on our shuttlecraft that's currently on Teyvar. What I'm looking for is this device. Does anyone in engineering have how to like look for that on the planet. Or I guess how the sensors would do that.
I guess I would say I could always try to give it a shot. I guess from a game mechanics, would that be like a roll of some kind?
That would absolutely be a roll of some kind.
But also, once we find him, they're going to need somebody from engineering to kind of help them figure out what tech is currently on the shuttlecraft that could be utilized for this purpose. And hopefully quickly.
I could certainly put my drink down and give it a shot. 'Cause I'm currently at the bar with the folks from the Cochrane. After bringing the computer core back that the doctor is trying to take possession of.
How many drinks has he had?
He just got there. Only 3.
He gets the message. He starts downing him like
Andorian
I gotta
rum
go
or
in 5
something.
minutes.
Fun fact about Andorians: he can hold one up to each antenna and just drink through those. So
They
So,
got those built-in like beer hat things.
yes.
That actually, I can see that beer hat situation perfectly.
Yes, Skippy, you said something.
yes, because I can't remember if it was mentioned or not. Is Teyvar currently orbiting any stars?
Actually, yes, it is in.
Okay.
By some miracle of plot, it showed up, and it is in a habitable distance from a star.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we weren't on some clock to make sure that all of Teyvar does not freeze to death.
Now they're fine, other than the catastrophic earthquakes and sudden shutdown of most of their planet's power. They're doing fine.
I will say one thing: no one has actually like studied that or scanned that for like their
They're
actual
fine.
situation. All we know is they are a distance from a star that seems to be good enough, but like that's just eyeballing it. So, yeah, you don't know for sure the specifics on that. So, all right. So, the way this is going to need to work, this is actually going to be a Starship Sensors roll.
We might have to recruit somebody else for that.
Yes.
Do I even have that ability?
You have a
I mean-
20 in it.
I do. Okay.
Let's see. Sorab has a
18 Starship sensors.
18. Let's see.
What about Crystal?
For sensors?
Starship
Uh,
Sensors.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Starship.
10.
I got a 20.
20. You know, the person that has the most.
it's Zach Thunder, isn't it?
No.
Nice.
That's
No,
his name.
Damn it.
I was thinking Jack Thunder.
No, it's Zach.
Jack Thunder.
No, that's his
Brother of
cousin.
Zach Thunder.
I want to see him walk onto the bridge and like high five him, like the Thunder Twins.
So the person with the highest is actually Tynal, who isn't with us, technically. Although he is on the bridge. Yeah.
Oh well. Who do we got? Who's at the sensor right now?
Can he send in an absentee sensors check?
From wherever he is, who knows? Alright, so who wants and how do we want to run this one?
I mean, I'll roll it because I'm on the bridge, right? So
Okay.
I mean, I can do it. Unless if Tano is on the bridge, then I would tell him to do it.
I mean, last session.
But then that would be my leadership role to make sure that his sensor roll works. So I don't know.
Because yeah, he's got a 65 in sensors.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I mean that's literally science. That's his thing. So I allowed it last session. I'll keep allowing if people want to roll for him. That's fine, because I don't want to have yet another gap in our ability to do things.
All right, I'll roll for him. So I'm just rolling a number, but we're gonna see. We're using his stats to see if.
Yes. So, you've got to beat a 67.
I got this. Watch. Well, bam.
Oh
67.
my god!
Ow.
Holy, talk about dramatic.
All right. So,
Not a point more, not a point less.
exactly, a wizard
Exactly
rolls
the number you needed.
A wizard rolls exactly what he needs. Yes.
We've been really
Holy
cutting
quarter
that
landing
corner
on its
tonight.
side, Batman.
Yeah. So, you're gonna pick up a very, very faint signal, but this signal is like a mile below the palace in Shinzia.
We communicate that to the team.
Well, this device enables communication. Apparently, can we open a channel to it?
Yes, you actually can.
All right. I'm gonna do that and say, "Hi, is this what's his name again?
Detrone.
Hey, is this Detrone? Grace gave me this contact."
Yes. Good to hear a friendly voice. This is Detrone. Is this one of our Federation friends, I presume?
Yes. It sounds like it looks like you're like a mile underground. It doesn't sound like you got there easily. Are there other people down there with you? Do we need to be concerned about rescuing here?
Oh, I got down here easily enough. It's just a matter of getting out. That's the problem when there's an earthquake like whatever just happened. So, I don't believe anyone else down here is actually still alive but me. And I don't know how much longer that's gonna remain the case. There's some experiments down here that kind of lost containment, and they're of the not healthy for you variety if they get out. So, if you would be able to render assistance, I would be most grateful.
Make it right on that. All right.
Nakamura whispers to the crew, "Where's the doctor right now?"
So I'm gonna call, I guess, who do you call for teleporting? Is it engineering?
The transporter room.
Transporter room. So I'm gonna call the well, I don't know if they're their own department or if they're part of engineering. Or all right, so I'm gonna call the transporter room and say, "Hey, I need this guy and any other life forms that are life signs that are near him transported to medical quarantine like immediately."
All right, and let's have our so this is going to be a 50-50 roll for the person that's down in transporter room to see whether they're able to.
Wait, what's the name of the person in the train? I want to know who our Miles O'Brien is.
It's
Miles O'Brien.
It's Giles
Miles O'Brien Senior.
Nice. It's Brian. It's Brian O'Miles.
Brian O'Miles.
It's kilometers O'Brien.
Miles
Yes, Lieutenant Brian O'Miles. All right, so let's see. All righty. Getting back to the right tab. That's not the right tab. That's the right tab. All right, got to beat a 50. Brian O'Miles is unsuccessful.
Can he just like
God damn it.
take a minute to try and do that better?
What he's going to say is, sir, there's some sort of interference down there where I'm not able to cut through it. However, it looks like if we take down a transporter beacon, we'd be able to get them back. I can get you down, but not back up without
How
that.
about we send the doctor down?
Okay. Yeah, all right. I'm going to call Fish. Yeah.
Pick up.
You cannot
Pick up.
contact Fish Soon at the moment. He is currently busy. Please leave a message at the beep. Beep.
God.
There's no way he has a voicemail on his communicator.
No, he's just pretending to be the voicemail.
Yeah, actually, that's
just him saying that.
that is just him saying it.
He's just gonna like, it's like, just like, I hope that worked. I really want to focus on this machine.
Fish,
Not leaving a message.
Fish, I got a mad scientist that I need to rescue that is in a very
He's a
dangerous
mad scientist.
situation.
Okay, where are we going?
I need you to go to the I need you to go to the transporter room, pick up the device they give you, and then just do what they tell you to do real quick, and make sure the guy comes back alive.
Oh, I'm out.
Alive.
Alive, you say?
I can do the first two part, but the last one's up for debate.
Please just try your best.
Okay,
If we pull this off, we might be able to find the captain.
Okay. I guess like, oh, fine. Beat me up.
All right,
yeah,
so
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna call
put that
transporter
one-
and be like, Dr. Sung is gonna be with you shortly to do that.
Okay.
I'm good. So
Are
did
we
you tell me
sending
to
on-
bring anything for the toxic fumes or no?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a you decision.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you know as you're on your way to transporter. Okay, so here's what I know about the situation. Apparently, there were some experiments that they were doing that have burst open, and so we don't know exactly what's in the atmosphere, but it seems as though it's probably going to cause a reaction.
I'm gonna bring a chemical resistant suit or like a hazmat suit if possible.
You have those.
Nice. I'll wear one of those so I don't just huff 50,000 chemicals that aliens are vulnerable to. So I don't know what that would do to me. So
I imagine to make you very straight laced because
oh
it'd have the
no!
opposite
I
effect.
grew a conscience.
Side note: are we sending Dr. Fish on a suicide mission?
No.
Maybe.
The good,
We're
no,
sending
here's the thing. I don't know it's a suicide mission, even if so it wouldn't affect my 99 luck, so I'd be fine with that.
We're sending him on a risky mission, but he has I suppose he could choose to make it a suicide mission if he chooses. But
every mission he's
I was
on
just
is a
curious.
suicide mission.
every fishing mission is a suicide mission. Damn it.
I just thought I heard
I'm
the
just not the one that has
transporter
to be afraid of
person
it.
saying they might not be able to get you back. That's
No,
all.
that's what the thing's for.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. We'll
It's
cross
a
that
mad-
bridge when we
every
get there.
mad scientist has a lab, even if it's destroyed. It's still a
Yeah.
lab I can work with. And you said, wait. So he's the only one alive, correct?
As far as we know.
Oh,
That's what he
plenty
said.
of bodies. That's plenty of. Yeah, I can figure it out. It's
Oh
easy.
boy.
All right. Well, yeah. Just you get the signal booster and
Grab all the stuff. Got the suit on. I'm ready to go.
all right. Thank you.
All right. So Brian
Like, he
O'Miles.
stops for a minute. Like, wait, why am I helping?
Because it's your favorite mad scientist.
Yeah, I sold you
gave
on
you
mad
mad
scientist and crazy chemicals.
Yeah, that
And-
kind of sold it. Like, yeah.
Yes. All right. So Brian O'Miles is able to get you down there, and you show up in what's obviously a laboratory. It looks very, very smashed. There's cracks in all the ceilings and walls and floors. Plenty of things toppled over. There's a nice yellowish haze in the air, about 3 feet up. At floor level, it's relatively clear. And at floor levels where you're going to see the Trone with a rag over his face, and is going to look and say, "Ah, my illustrious Dr. Friend." Sorry. The air down here doesn't agree with me. Hopefully you'll be able to help me with that, my good sir.
Just gonna go over to where I just gonna like not say anything, place down the things I need to do, set it up. I'm like, yeah. So you're not dead, which means I might be able to save you. If you are dead, I could still salvage something. So you could, if you want to keep talking, you could go ahead and breathe in more fumes, or we could get you out of here and you could not die. So you can just choose, and I'm just gonna do what's necessary.
He's just
Weird
gonna
doctor.
chuckle slightly.
+1 friendship.
All right, so you got everything set up?
I hope so. Yeah, just gonna set everything up.
I mean, it's just the one thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally just setting up the beacon, turning
Press
it
the
on.
button.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, beam us up, Sorab, or Crystal, Calvo.
That's
You're on,
Brian.
Or really anybody. I'm just waiting for the beam to go.
I was gonna say, it's Lieutenant O'Miles here. Yes sir. Yes sir.
Okay, Lieutenant, a minute. Make it a second.
And you'll both dematerialize and then rematerialize back on the Lexington.
Get me someone to bring him to med
In
bay.
the-
He's probably very, very much dying. Also,
I
send
thought-
me the.
Well,
data that you got.
where I asked him to be teleported to was medical quarantine.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's good. I'm also
So
gonna.
presumably that's where you are.
Okay, I'm in
Yes.
medical quarantine. I'm also gonna say, okay, because I just, Miles, a minute. I need you to send me all the data that got transported onto the teleporter about his physiology directly to the med bay.
Yes sir. And he'll boop, and the profile is just sent there.
Okay, buddy. So you breathe oxygen, right?
I believe
See,
yes, I indeed we Tevarans are known for that.
Okay. Didn't know much. That's good. Yeah. So I'm just gonna get all the basic supplies to start fixing them up. Don't know if I need to make any rolls or not.
Okay. So what you're going to see is he's got a fractured leg, actually a somewhat crushed leg, because there was an entire chemical tank that had fallen on top of his leg. And of course, he's coughing. There's with each cough, there's slight trickle of very very dark red blood coming down, as well as just like little splatters of same colored blood on the handkerchief. Now you'll know from the data files, I believe that he shared with you, that's actually normal color for Teyvaran blood. So it's not like dark red means death. That's just the color of their blood.
I'm really
Pretty
happy I
close,
remembered to ask for the transporter logs. 'Cause now I have a perfect sequence of their biology.
Okay.
I mean, a contaminated version, but
I mean, yeah, but I assume if I take out the contaminants, I'll know what to not keep.
So
High dose of poison, just always in their bloodstreams.
so the Troan is going to say, well, I'm not sure what your course of action is, good sir, but might I recommend putting me under first, because I'm in quite a lot of pain.
Just
Yeah, I
the
heard
way.
you're a mad scientist. I would assume you want to be awake. I gave you some painkillers if you want to walk me through some steps. Or you can just leave it up to a stranger's hands and, I can just dig around in your innards until maybe you wake up.
Well, I'm I'm more accustomed to working on the dead than the living, so I may not
Me
be of
too.
much assistance.
What you always want to hear your doctor say.
So I'm just gonna lift up 2 different pills. These will knock you out. This'll numb the pain enough that you can help with the process and walk me through it. If you want, it's up to you. Red pill, blue pill.
this is the
Wait, wait.
Matrix now.
How do you
I'm
know
gonna-
like
I'm gonna
that pill's
call-
gonna cover his pain? Like
I'm
do
gonna
you know
call Fish.
Yeah,
All right, so you got the Trone up.
yeah, he's here.
What's his condition?
He's coughing up blood, has a shattered leg. I'm currently offering him painkillers or anesthetic. I haven't given them to him yet, so.
Crap. I was hoping to get his help to come up with some kind of covert tracking, but it sounds like he's not going to be in good shape for that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just give him some painkillers. He can talk to you while I work. You good with that, buddy?
He's gonna say, Lieutenant Commander, are you required my help? I'm hearing.
That was the hope. Obviously, your health is going to come first. But we're trying to.
what's a little health in the face of science? Please,
That's what I like to hear.
please entertain me. What do you require
Fish
help with?
Junior.
I'm gonna give him the
We-
painkillers that are suited
We
to his
wa-
biology.
We want to get one of our shuttlecrafts captured by an enemy species and have a way to track it that they won't know that we're tracking it.
All right, interesting. How much do we know about this species sensor capabilities?
Not a lot, unfortunately.
Oh, that's helpful.
Guys,
Unless, yeah.
like Fish is like, you realize we have 2 massive caches of data we still haven't cracked open.
Yeah,
also,
that's true.
I can make a tracker, if you need it. I don't know how
What?
good it'll be, but yeah, I make trackers once in a while. I've dabbled.
I'm gonna call Calvo.
Should be small, untraceable
Calvo.
for the most part by standards.
Calvo,
They can go
can-
under skin too if you need it to be inside.
Calvo,
the
can
body.
you just swing over to medical quarantine and whatever is going on there, just see if you can get the information we need to make put a tracker on the shuttle, a covert tracker on the shuttlecraft, please.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'll head over.
Thank you. I'm then gonna call Crystal and be like, "You have like 5 minutes. Can you talk to anyone about this phone call you need to make with the?"
I remember you were walking down to like the site for the data. I don't know if you're still doing that.
Yeah, Crystal was heading down to look at the data from the brain wrencher. So Crystal would be in medbay
Yeah.
too.
Well, I'm not. That's the thing. I went to my quarters to call.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
Grace.
Crystal,
I'm just
Detrone.
sitting on my couch this whole time.
Yeah, so Crystal, Detrone, Fish, and very soon Calvo will all be in medbay.
Yeah.
Now, just to confirm, I'm completely separated from the
Yeah.
people in medical quarantine, correct?
That's the
Oh, yeah,
point
yeah.
of quarantine.
That's the
yes.
Okay.
that's the idea. Yeah.
I
Like it's
wanted to
Beyblade.
make sure.
Okay, so you
No,
need to
you
turn
have like
on the
you have like
machine.
5 minutes to talk to you or Nakamura. One of you got to talk to them in like 5
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. So
Is there
should probably
anything
walk
I
you
need
through-
to know before I talk to them?
Man, sure, probably.
I should probably
That's
tell you how to
helpful.
access.
You should definitely touch base with Nakamura and
Okay.
come to some kind of understanding about how this conversation is gonna go.
Okay. So I'm gonna call Nakamura.
Wait, where is Crystal right now?
I am acting shadow captain apparently.
Okay, Captain, you do this, and then
Okay.
you do this. It's like, wait, it's like, what else should I do? Captain, you should probably.
Sorab literally works right under the commander and head diplomat. So Sorab is more in tune with the command structure of the senior staff
He's trying.
than I
He's trying
am.
hardest.
But
But you're
I'm
the
gonna call
captain.
Nakamura and ask,
Wait, where are you right now? Are you not on the bridge?
He's in medbay.
No, he's in medbay.
Oh, okay. Nagamura
Yeah.
here.
what do I'm about to call the Cochrane. What do I need to know before I
Cochrane.
the Cochrane?
Cochrane.
What?
Okay.
What? You want to know the ship's name?
First day, yeah. How much sedatives have the doctor given you?
None. That's the problem. Anyway,
That's the problem.
Oh, good. If you want some sedatives, they're just on the counter over there.
no Fish. No. But what do I
Is
need
he
to
off?
know
Is he offering
before
you some
I
kush
call?
again? I mean, tell you.
What do I need to know for this call?
What are we trying to do, sir? What are we trying to talk to him about?
Well, we're trying to make sure that we're basically touching base before and making sure we have a timeline before heading back to their colony.
Nakamura was the person who arranged for this phone call to happen. Like he knows
Exactly.
you know what this call is about.
Come on.
Wait, how do I know what this call is about? in
You're the
character?
one that scheduled it.
I
Yeah.
did.
And
So
and was the
out of
first
character,
person to talk to them.
out
Out
of
of
character,
out of
last
character, let's go.
session. Out of character, last session. You were acting captain, and you talked to the Cochrane, and the agreement was we were going to figure out what we needed to do. We were going to touch base with Teyvar and try to collect some information on the ships that were destroyed. And in about an hour after that, you were supposed to call the Cochrane back to give them a timeline on how soon we can head to the colony and a status update. That is this call that you scheduled.
Right, but I don't know. The captain has not given me enough information to know what he wants me to do. So I guess I'm looking for. I'm like, he hasn't told me, hey, we need to touch base with them again to let them know we're ready to go to the colony or we're not ready to go to the colony. That was my counter to that. So in character, sir, what were you looking to have us do?
Right now, I'm just trying to make sure I have, and if there's any information that I need to know from the last time that you talked to them, if there was anything that I needed to know.
Well, sir, we needed to touch base with them in about a time. They want to bring us back to their colony. We said we wanted to get a status. We wanted to check out the planet's inhabitants to see how they're doing, as well as take care of ourselves here on the ship and maintain repairs and get people a little bit better, as well as do a spacewalk to recover some of the broken the ships that we were in combat with. So we do owe them a phone call in the near future.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
Nagamura out.
So at this time, is Calvo in the med bay?
By now, he would be, yes.
With a bottle in hand.
No, unfortunately.
He brought the party with him.
Although, no, he'll be getting there about the time that Chris gets back to his chair, as an amazing coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay, Fish.
Yes.
Were you able to get any information off of that computer before you had to jump down to save our scientist friend?
He
That
didn't
is
have
a
a chance
good
to even
question.
really do anything.
But
Okay.
I do have a bunch of data on my my brain wrencher. It's like all the encrypted data of the yellows.
And that's what
And-
Crystal would be
Yellow,
focused on.
Yeah, that's what I would have been working on
Just
between
be aware that
that
I
in that
should probably tell you how to
15,
turn
20
it on.
minutes. Had I been able to decipher anything?
Oh wait, wait. Did you turn it on without me telling you the steps?
I would let's assume that you had someone in medbay walk me through it.
Oh, no one else knew how to operate that thing. I mean, the turn. Okay, so there's a very here's just the caveat. So there's a big red button that just really straightforward is an on-off thing. However, this is just a little quirk of the machine that I know. Remember how I said how? So I never decoupled the corpse from it originally, and remember how I said how if there's when a corpse has too much energy in it, it can explode. He turned it on without decoupling it.
So,
Which means that there's been a ton of
I-
energy going through the corpse, so it's probably going to explode.
So,
Not lethally, but it's
I
definitely
would
going to be
not
able
have
to
touched a thing on it because it is attached to a corpse,
Sounds reasoning.
Okay.
Yeah, that checks out.
there is a big red button which
Says
I
turn off.
equate to self-destruct.
It says turn on. The on button.
Yeah. Plus,
That-
I am I generally don't completely trust Dr. Fish.
What?
No.
Yeah.
So,
So you're
That was a
retracting your
secret
statement
reveal.
of having been working on it. I see.
yes. So
Okay.
I would have been in medbay trying to figure it out, but basically just staring at it.
Okay, you're gonna want to turn it on to like Fish is gonna see that you're just standing there. Okay, you're gonna want to turn it on to access the data, and then go back to
Okay.
working.
Fish.
Yeah,
How does one turn it on properly? Because
you hit the button.
knowing you, that's it. Just press a button.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Continues working on taking care of the guy.
Because this is still like 5 minutes to me having this call.
Yes, in person, I imagine.
Okay, this is not enough time to decipher this information.
Out of character. You could just give him an update and just say, "We need more
Yeah,
time," or have it.
that's what's gonna end up happening.
Oh.
See,
Because we have the computer core, but we have no information from the yellow or the red currently.
you could probably get some important data from the surface level
So,
info on it.
so
Because just
I'm-
just to explain how the renter works is because like it's like I explained before. So how it works is it basically records all the information of said person and kind of compiles the basics of the actual language. So you could probably like if you could figure out what they're saying or even just decipher like very simple language, you can like use a visual kind of representation. Like you can see like a visual from the person's eyes experience of what was going on. So you can like watch the recording visually. You can also like kind of comprehend the general sense of what they were doing. And the audio and their memories are all recorded as like core data. So if you just looked at something from the past hour or like couple of minutes before the whole explosion everyone died on it happened, there's a pretty good chance you could get some vital piece of information about just the last couple minutes of their life that could be a pretty good update. And it probably wouldn't be that hard if you just are able to decipher it, because we've done things in even less time than 5. So if you're just in the room, you work up to the 5 minutes and call, you could have some good advice to give them. So I would recommend turning the machine on and doing your captainly duties, right? Come on,
I
you want
hate
to
it
be a
when
good
you're right,
captain.
Fish.
That's
So
He's like,
I'll
hit the button.
turn it on.
Okay.
Womp, 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 womp,
All
womp.
right. So based on what I've been told about this device,
No,
no. Matt,
It's like scanners, but it's not like deadly, and it's not gonna do any negative. There's gonna be like no actual like danger. It's just like it's kind of the big boom, and it's like
I get it. I
kinda
get it. I
covers
get it.
everything.
I get it. All right. So fish, what kind of is this more? I guess would be computer technology or computer operation. Is that the closest thing?
Definitely not
Uh,
technology.
Yeah, at this point,
computer
it's
operation seems pretty
it's just
straightforward.
computer operations.
Yeah.
Because
It has a
you're not
button.
accessing
Thank
the
goodness.
biotechnology part, just the pure.
All right, Matt. I need you to make me a computer operation roll.
Straight up. All right.
So that's average of 53 and 37.
Does he make it? Yeah, he makes that. He makes that.
Average of 53 and 37.
I don't think he does.
Hold on, let me.
How you
grab my
mess up a button pressing? He had one. Did he poke his eye or something? Like, damn it.
The on button.
The future's a tough place to live.
I think he hit the on button. He just didn't do it as smoothly as he thought.
His fingers slid off the button.
Hit it a little too hard.
The button depressed but did not like release. It's like,
This is
it
this
just
is gonna
sunk
be
in. It sunk into the device. He's like, shit.
this is gonna be hilarious because he's gonna be in medbay fiddling around that thing, and the Cochrane's gonna call, and it's gonna be Nakamura actually talking to
Stalling
him
for
again.
time.
Okay. All right. So what's our number? What's our target, Matt? Did you do the math?
Yeah, I missed it by 3.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
that's
So you hit the button, and the machine is going to start going. Whoom, 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 whoom. Alarms start going off. The head of the alien just starts glowing red hot, then just just in every direction, just like a very, very meaty balloon.
Also, you just hear from behind the quarantine zone, ha!
Uh,
And you wonder why I don't trust you, Dr. Fish.
so Matt, you're now half covered in brains, and skull
Worth
fragments, and you actually you pull an eye off the top of your head, um, and suddenly the Cochrane actually calls.
it.
I
Yes! I say in character.
so I am going to take the call actually in the uh, chief medical officer's office
Hmm.
and answer it sitting in his chair.
Okay.
Thank goodness I'm not the chief medical officer.
Uh, sorry for the mess.
So you're gonna see a woman kind of look at you like, one, who are you? Two, what happened to you?
So the answer to your first question is I am the acting captain, Crystal. Um, the gentleman that you spoke to before was um, he was acting as a
He
while
was
I
he was
was
acting
incapacitated.
captain.
Yes,
Well, you see,
there you go.
Okay.
Crystal's
Acting
the
I was
vice
acting
junior
first
captain,
officer.
and then
First.
Hero's the vice junior captain.
And the answer to your second question is I was trying to use a device that our Dr. Fish had devised to get information from the corpse of a person from, I believe it was the yellow alien ship.
So she's gonna say, well,
The yellow
based
ship?
on the yellow skin on the top of your head, yeah, I think that's a yellow there.
Funny part is it
Yeah.
worked.
Currently, I have not been able to get any information from the yellow, as you can see. Um,
Hmm.
we are still working on getting information out of that computer core that was recovered from the red ship. Um, but yeah, that is. Oh, our doctor is going to have a field day with that thing, from what I've been told, anyway.
Well, happy. I'm glad for him. So, what's your status on being able to depart for the colony?
So, I believe that we should be able to depart fairly soon. I believe we're just finishing up a preparations to um, track something to be able to get our captain back. Um,
Okay.
but that is we are just finishing that up. Um, and I was told that you wanted to be able to get back to the your colony sooner rather than later, correct?
Well, every minute that we're out here is another chance for more of those jackasses to show up and give us a bad day. So, yes.
All right, because part of the our whole plan to get our captain back is basically finding out where they live.
Well, I mean, we've got a pretty good idea of where they would have gone, like what their home systems are. But as far as exactly where, no, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So, I believe we should be good to go within, I would say, 2 hours or so.
All right. All right. All right, then we'll check back in 2 hours unless you contact us first. Also,
All right.
tell the engineering team that their break is over. It's time to get their asses back over here.
Will do.
Cochran out.
And from there, I will, because they would still be at the bar, right?
Well, Calvo, yes, they would still be at the bar, or they should be at the bar. That was the last place they were seen.
So I would call the bar and say,
Yeah.
uh, acting captain to Cochrane engineering team.
Uh, wait, so that you said it like
or
that?
whoever would trying to communicate with someone in the bar to tell
Well,
them.
you just call the bar.
Yeah, I would call the bar.
Yeah.
They would say,
And
they left about 10 minutes ago. Not sure where they are at this point. I'm assuming they head back towards their ship, but you got
Bar
me.
crawl.
okay, thank you. And from there, I would call Sorab.
So,
We got 2 hours.
Is this
Okay.
all audio, or is there any visual to this?
Then we are heading. Our plan of action so far is to head toward the colony in about 2 hours.
okay. Well,
Enough time?
I mean, my part of all this was basically just getting all the wheels in motion. Lieutenant Commander
Okay.
Calvo is the person you want to talk to about timing.
Okay. So then I walk out of the chief medical officer's office and say,
Lo and
"Hey,
behold,
Hey, Calvo. 2 hours enough? Is 2 hours enough to get that all the all the wheels in motion for the tracking device and whatnot?"
I'm gonna say for the purposes of the story, yes, it is.
Hey, that's my line.
Ah, I'm gonna say yes, Commander. That is plenty of time.
Good. Now, if you'll
2 hours
excuse
later.
me,
That was not enough
I'm
time.
going to take a sonic shower.
Twice.
Have a nice cat nap.
Did Crystal's gonna get a call. Did
Yes.
Pick up.
So did you want to try
Aw.
again?
Maybe after a shower.
Sounds fair enough. So do you want me to set up another corpse, or do you want to go at it again without one?
Is there a way to get the information without having a corpse blown up on me?
Oh yeah, no, all the information's in there anyways.
So let's
Actually,
do
it
it.
wouldn't have blown up at all if you just decoupled the corpse.
Oh, I wonder who didn't tell me that.
I don't know. Probably someone that was sent to a toxic underground cave mission to retrieve somebody.
Hmm.
Passive
I don't know.
aggressive
I'm
one?
sorry, Captain. I guess the deadly fumes must be getting to me right now.
How? Through your hazmat suit?
Yeah, I don't know. So it must be a hole or something. Well, don't worry. I'll be just fine. In fact,
Well,
I'm feeling great right now. And I hang up.
Okay.
I like how this whole conflict like originally started because like Soong asked if he could have help from like Crystal like that one time, which is probably the only time Soong ever asked for help. And then it immediately was like nah, and I'm like, this means war.
He's on his shit list for life.
Yes. All right, so let's go to the interesting trio of Calvo, Soong, and Detrone that's happening right now.
Ah, yes.
All right, so let's start with your treatment. Let's see whether you're even able to do anything there. There.
I did get the stuff of his biology. I don't know if that would help.
Yes, that's going to give you a 15 bonus on any rolls that involve him.
Okay, so gotta check my own sheet because of how medical roles work.
All right. Step 1, diagnosis. See if you can the leg is not the priority. What you're trying to figure out first is the whole like lung bleeding thing.
Okay, so that would be just pure first aid, or would there be any modifiers for like his intelligence?
Well, one thing that would actually figure out first what chemical you're dealing with. That would be helpful.
Okay. I'm gonna ask him because he's
Okay.
conscious.
Well, there were only about a few dozen different chemicals down in the lab, so it would be quite difficult for me to pinpoint for you.
I guess I'll
which
just take
one.
a swab from his mouth and try to analyze it real fast.
Okay, you can try that. All right, so this, you actually have a 10 in chemistry, so roll chemistry.
Pure chemistry or
Chemistry and intelligence.
Okay, and I get
What?
plus 15 because of
No,
biology.
no, this
No?
is
Alright.
you're just trying to identify the material.
So that probably means I have to do calculations again.
Well, it's the average of 80 and 10, so it's 45.
Okay, that works. No, I didn't. Let's see. Slash RSP.
You should make a D100 button. Just saying.
That
I
was
just-
helpful.
I just copy paste. I do it once and I just copy paste it for the rest of the
But
session.
then you make a D100 and you never
I
have to
didn't
copy
work.
and paste again.
All right, you
Yeah, I have a
are.
little macro button that just says
Yeah.
roll.
Mine,
Yes.
I have a D100 and I have a D4 button. That's the only button.
I
two
never
buttons I've
figured out
used
how
this
to make
campaign.
it.
Well, unfortunately, you're not able to identify the exact compound. All you know is that it contains sulfur, but there's some other compounds you're unsure of.
Okay, and kind of just like put it as like, okay, buddy. So it looks like we're gonna be taking a bit of a shot in the dark.
All right. So had you gotten that, you'd have gotten another plus 15 to diagnosis, but in this case, you're not going to get that. So, yes, you're going to be rolling intelligence and first aid with a plus 15.
Applied afterwards.
Yes. So the average of 80 and 41 plus 15.
So I got a 76% chance.
Okay.
Dang it!
Oh,
Ooh,
goodness.
Wow.
boy.
Eh.
So,
The dice are against you.
you're not sure. There's blood coming from somewhere in his respiratory system, but exactly where you are
Okay,
uncertain.
buddy. It looks like I can't fix you, but I do have an alternative solution that you might like.
Oh, and what might that be?
How would you like a new pair of lungs?
Well, if the alternative is shuffling off this mortal coil, I've opened to the alternative.
So can I make a biomechanical engineering
You
roll
can
to make
you
him...
can make a biotechnology roll.
Okay, so that's 99. Do I get the plus 15 since I know his biology? So
No,
like,
because I'm not
Ah.
breaking the numbers.
I can't have a 105% chance?
No, you
You always
can't.
need a chance to fail, even if it's a 1 in 100 chance.
I'll take the 1 in 100.
Well, that's what you're rolling. If you score 100, you failed it. It doesn't matter if you exceed
Ah!
it.
Oh my god.
You're- Wait,
I
no,
get-
he still passed though, right?
The
No?
96.
96, yeah. So,
Uh,
oh wait, actually, let me... Oh no.
no, with a 96 he does not pass.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Average of 80 and 99.
So
Oh,
could I guess...
I didn't
so
hear the
did I
average.
get the... Did I get the plus 15?
Because my plot is if I don't, even if I give you, well,
Can
fine.
we say this?
Yes.
Can I use my luck roll?
You.
Is that what we say?
No,
I don't know.
no, do not break the luck roll.
Okay.
All right. Let me think of this.
If worse comes to worse, I need to
It's not-
brain wrench him.
It's not life or death for you.
It is life
Yeah.
or death for him. All right. We're gonna.
I mean, okay, worst comes to worst, we have plan C, which is we brain wrench his corpse.
We have. All right. So this is gonna come down to a 50-50 for him.
Oh god.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, you did it.
I'm a
He
good doctor.
just pulls through. Like the lung, his body tries to reject the lungs, but then finally, and yeah, this is like you're
It's
already
last
like
second, so would it be like I kind of have to crack open his rib cage, replace him, which was already a bad idea to begin with. We had no other
Yes.
option. Starts losing blood. He already had less.
Mhm.
Get it in. It's rejecting him. I run to get like a stabilizer shot, and just before he goes in cardiac arrest,
I like it.
something like that.
I like it. Yes, that works for me. So bad news is he's not able to be helping Chris right now because he's kind of very much unconscious.
Mild coma.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Penalty for missing by a few.
This whole procedure takes 2 hours. So, I mean, you failed the diagnosis, then you had to cut him open, you had to fabricate the lungs partially, install them. So, yeah, this is 2 hours. So, nothing has gotten done on the whole shuttlecraft tracking thing.
What was Calvo doing during those 2 hours?
Well, what was Calvo doing? Calvo could, I guess, try to figure something out.
I would have tinkered.
Okay. Tinkered with what?
Trying to get what I needed to do done, which would be.
Aren't we all, my friend? Aren't we all?
Yeah, aren't we all?
Okay.
Probably try to get the what was it? The sensors rejiggered.
Well, the idea was that we need to have a way to track the shuttlecraft covertly if it gets captured. That was the goal here.
Let's see.
So that's going to be a communications systems technology type role.
I like that. So is that plus my intelligence, or is that?
Yes, it is. Now, here's the thing. You'll be rolling this. This is going to be a contested roll, but you're not going to know whether or not this is actually going to be a good enough roll because it's contested against their sensors. So you'll have to see whether it works. Of course, this is depending. Let's see if you're even able to build it in the first place. But
Okay. All right, let me give it a go.
all right, so that's average of 82 and 30.
Should be. I got to beat a 56.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, beat it by 6. All right.
That work?
So you are able to devise basically it's a subspace beacon that operates on such an extreme edge of the subspace frequency that it's basically only perceptible if you're looking for it.
Yeah, Calvo says, piece of cake.
Okay. We didn't even need the doctor.
No,
Well, it's good we got him though.
Yeah, it is. So, all right.
I'm the unethical bootleg backup.
Something like that. Okay. Well, this would be the time when that phone call happens, but it's 11:05, so that phone call is going to have to happen in a week, I believe.
Wait, we have a whole week instead of 2 hours? We got plenty of time to do stuff then.
Mhm. Cliffhanger.
All right. I'll hand out a point for everyone involved for your sterling efforts. Hope you
Alright.
hope you wrote down your roles because there were a lot of good ones today. All
I did not make any rule.
You did like manage every role though.
He-
You're like,
that's the
okay, this
thing,
is
yeah. You know what,
I
Tim?
think
Write
leadership.
leadership. Write leadership
Yeah.
down as if you rolled it.
Sweet.
That was
'Cause
definitely
That was a hell of a lot of leadership. Oh gosh. Let's. You know what, Matt? Write it down too because you're technically acting captain, so you were doing some leading type stuff too. Good on you. All right. And X, I might start doing this in the sessions. Calvo, because you were drinking with those guys, why don't you take carousing as if you rolled that?
Ooh, I like it.
There's not one for showing up late, Eric. I'm sorry. Uh, I think, yeah, Fish soon got plenty of rolls today. I think he did.
Yeah.
So I think Fish, everything that Fish did, he rolled for. So I think nothing else I can give him there. So, all right, I think we'll call that good. Thanks everyone for playing and watching. But I'm going to turn it over to the illustrious Tim to do his well-rehearsed spiel for Extra Life, and take it away.
Yeah, so we do play this game and other games to benefit Extra Life. Extra Life is a fundraiser of Children's Miracle Network that enables us to play games to raise money to help kids in Children's Miracle Network hospitals. A few of us are on the team are raising for Boston Children's Hospital, but we also have Norfolk, Virginia, Buffalo, New York, San Diego, California, and Bay State represented on the team. As far as I know, I think that's all of them right now. But you can go ahead and if someone could put the rabid exclamation point rabid in the chat because I don't have that open.
Yeah, I got that for you.
Sweet, thank you. So that link is going to take you to our team page on Extra Life. You can join Extra Life and join our team if you like to raise money for your hospital, but also you can donate through any one of our pages. Every cent you donate goes straight to the hospital. We don't see a cut of it. The administration of Extra Life doesn't see a cut of it. They get they pay for their overhead costs using a different system. So every cent that you donate goes straight to the hospital for medical care, for devices, and for entertainment to help the kids be comfortable and enjoy their time in the hospital, which is important because they're kids. There are also other ways to help support this channel and or charity, like the Humble Bundle link. If we put exclamation point Humble in chat, that'll take you to a Humble Bundle link where you can pick up whatever bundles you want. And as usual, you can designate some of the money you pay for it to go to your charity of choice. And so, by using that link, you can also set some amount of the money you pay to come to the channel to help us do more cool things. We do have a few events coming up this year that we're pretty excited about. We have 3 Extra Life events planned. One is the Road to Oblivion. When they get to Oblivion, that's going to be an Extra Life event. Do you have any idea when that's going to be yet, Eric?
Probably late summer. My guess is by the time late summer, early fall.
Okay, so that's they're working through that. On Wednesday nights, they are playing Sentinels of the Multiverse and working their way towards Oblivion. I believe Chris frequently shows up for that as well. We also are planning to do a special session of this campaign on the weekend of August 19th. Do you have any more details on that yet, Tripper?
I mean, we haven't figured out like schedule, so that's what we need to discuss, like exactly when people have availability to do that. But I mean, as far as what the story's going to be at that point, that's going to depend entirely on you guys. So,
Right.
no idea what plot's going to happen for that. It's going to be just a jumbo session basically, but it'll be fun. I'll try to do something special for it depending on where we are. But at this point, I could not begin to tell you. But yeah, so we'll all need to communicate. We'll do that on Discord to figure out what works for us all.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's that weekend is Extra Life's Tabletop Appreciation Weekend, and so there's a lot of things that are happening nationwide with Extra Life. around that weekend, and so we're trying to get in on that by having a special weekend session of this campaign during that weekend. So we'll have more details about that. If we put extra exclamation point Discord in the chat, that'll take you to our Discord server, so you can be a part of that conversation, or at least see that conversation happening when we plan stuff out, and then you'll know about stuff before it gets announced on stream, because we are forgetful about announcing things on stream. Extra Life, our 24-hour Extra Life event is going to be the first weekend in November. 2 12-hour days in a row. So keep an eye out for that. That is going to be Mutants and Masterminds. We're returning. The online group is returning to the world of In Memoriam. The offline group is still playing it, so they will be just kind of be continuing. So that's going to be our Extra Life event this year. Very much looking forward to that. And yeah, keep an eye on the channel. We have a few shows going on, and excited to see what happens next.
All right, sounds good. Thank you all for coming, watching. We'll be back here same time next Thursday for more Star Trekky shenanigans, because that's what we're all about right now. So, all right, everyone, have a good evening. See you all next time.
Live long and prosper.
Live long.
Live long and prosper. May the
prosper.
fourth be with you.
Ah.
Bye.